Welcome back to Good Day State Line. It's never too early to plan your estate. Good thing Zachary Townsend from Pro Legal Care is here today. Hi.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for coming back.
Thanks for having me.
We always learn so much when you are here. So today we're talking about estate planning and most specifically want to know about probate.
Probate is essentially the carrying out of your will, the division of your things after you pass away. A judge has to do it normally, and an attorney has to file a petition in court to open up a case. Planning ahead can help you avoid the probate process altogether, which is an expensive process, a stressful process, and really the last thing that your family wants to have to do when they're trying to grieve your loss and move on to the next chapter of their life and do that stress-free and peacefully.
Yeah, so that's kind of what you're going to talk about is why you need to plan and how you can plan so that your family doesn't have to go through that.
Right.
So what if you think you don't have enough stuff to have an estate plan? Is that true?
You would be amazed at what families and relatives are willing to fight over. Sometimes it seems the less you have, the harder people fight. It doesn't matter if you're 19 years old or if you're 90 years old. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You don't want a judge making very important decisions about you and your life, a judge who doesn't even know you, when you could be the one to make those decisions. If you just planned ahead, you can save your family such a huge headache. You can avoid conflict among those that you've left behind. You can see to it that your wishes are carried out. This is what estate planning is all about.
Planning ahead for your family. And you mentioned you could be 19 years old. Are you ever too young to do this?
Well, you have to be 18 to sign legal documents, but it depends on your individual situation. But most people think that it's about money, and most of it is not about money.
Is it more about actual items?
Well, sometimes it is, because the value that people place on items is not necessarily the fair market value of items. But if you have children, for example, if you have young children, who is going to care for them if you were to pass away?
Sure, so that's all included in the estate planning.
Yeah, you can have a guardianship designation, yeah.
Okay, so the two terms that we generally associate with estate planning is a will and a trust.
Right.
But they're not the same thing.
No. They serve some of the same functions. A will typically requires the probate process, your family to go through the probate process. A trust is used to avoid the probate process. They do serve some of the same purposes, though. They both help you see to it that your wishes are carried out, and a trust can go a lot further in doing so and can protect you in a lot of other ways as well.
And so that's why you would want a trust instead of a will?
Yes.
And what are some of the ways that they can protect you?
Well, they can protect you by making sure that what you leave behind follows certain rules. Your family can be required to follow certain rules to use, say, the home that you leave them. And you can't do that with a will, but with a trust you can.
Oh, okay. So are those the only two ways you can plan ahead?
No, there are many ways that the law provides that you can plan ahead. There are lots of different documents that help you protect yourself and your family. It depends on your specific needs, though, of course. So if you have children and you were laid up in the hospital for a month, who's going to take care of those children while you're inpatient? Who's going to make important decisions about those children? If you can't make your own medical decisions, because you reach that point where you can't do that on your own, who's going to make those medical decisions about your health for you? Hopefully not your estranged husband, right? Mm-hmm. If you can't make it to the bank, if you can't physically write out a check, if you can't make the decisions about your finances on your own, who's going to make those decisions for you? This is what estate planning is for. The answers to those questions are in estate planning.
And you obviously, the idea is to get that all planned out before you're in any of those situations.
Right, and no matter how uncomfortable it is, these things are possible. So you need to plan ahead. You need to plan now and save your family some stress and some headache in the future, because the conflict normally is what your wishes would have been. The fight seems to be, well, this is how mom would have wanted it. No, mom would have wanted it that way. Well, if we can prepare these documents for you, we can memorialize your wishes and avoid the conflict among the people that you leave behind.
Absolutely. So clearly you're very knowledgeable on this topic, much like the other topics that we've talked about before. But if anyone needs a refresher, wants to contact you, wants to start their estate planning, where can they go?
They can go to our website, prolegalcare.com. They can set up a free consultation to meet with us to discuss it further, because this all depends on your individual needs and your individual circumstances, and we could help walk you through it depending on what you want to accomplish.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much for coming in today, Zach.
Thank you for having me.
Up next, Peggy from Pink Heels of Winnebago County stops by, and we're talking the Pink Party and the 97 ZOK bra auction. But first, let's see another one of your four-legged friends from our Good Day State Line Facebook page.